How you doing, fam bam? This is Chris Mizo here, and welcome to part 3 because we are going to work on the processor. So right now I have an i9-12900K. It is an awesome processor. Fortunately, it's already out of date because Intel decided to come out with a different version called the Intel KFS or Intel KS, I think. Because that they came out with this new version of a processor, it renders this one less powerful than the other. Not saying that this is a weaker processor. This will do plenty, especially if you're planning to do content creation. And yes, I meant content creation because this is a very powerful processor, especially if you're going to use it for gaming, and it will cause less bottlenecking if you do use it for gaming. Most games requires more single core processing than actual multi processors. So it is good to have something like this. So when you do have a processor, please choose over carefully because a 12600K might be exactly what you're looking for, especially if you're using it for gaming. That's what I personally should have got for this PC that I'm building, but a 12900K will suffice. This will extend to other tasks because if someone likes to also create content, this is a great motherboard and processor combination. So let's open this up here and I'll show you what a processor and CPU looks like. And this is really important to let you guys know, especially you new builders out there. With these new processors, they always have this sticker right here. We just cut that open and we'll just flip this open. Now, of course, the Intel has 3 different models of Intel processors here, and as it unfolds, a nice little waffle comes out just like this one right here, and it is a beautiful design. It's just awesome to keep around. This is nice just to have in your collection here. So they do have different versions. They have i5, i7, and i9. And I personally think the i7 is good enough, especially if you're going to be using it for a gaming use. Not i3, they don't really have i3s anymore, but i5 is also good enough for gaming as well if you're looking for more of a budget, and there's nothing wrong with that. So don't kick yourself if you feel like you're going to get the i7 or you're going to get the i9, because believe it or not, i5 will do perfectly fine as well. So let's close this up. And with the processor, it's always good to be really careful. Never ever touch the back of it. You hear that? Especially all you new builders out there, never touch the back of your CPU. It's completely unnecessary and you don't want to mess it up in any sort of way, even though more than likely you probably won't because it's mostly kind of flat, but it's something that shouldn't be done. As you see, processors look something like this. And as you saw in part 2 of the motherboard, remember that arrow I showed you earlier about how you install a processor? You're gonna look for that same arrow. A processor looks just like this. And it's nothing too crazy, nothing overly fancy, but what makes it special is the back of it because of how it's designed. Intel created this hybrid processor, which is a combination of P cores and E cores. It's pretty straightforward, a processor. It's not really a lot to it. But what is really important is on how you install the processor on your motherboard. All right, so as you see here, you have to have it at that arrow right here. And you just want to match the processor arrow just like that. It's not really too hard, as you can see. And as you see, the 2 arrows are connected. So in order to install this processor, all you have to do is push down on this lever here, just like that, and just lift it up. As you lift it up, you're gonna lift up this door. And make sure you don't touch inside of the door, because then you can mess up those pins. So as you can see these pins here, and make sure you put the processor in that direction. So make sure you take it out of its plastic cover just like this. You're gonna take the processor out and make sure you only take it out from the sides just like this. As you can see, when you drop it in, you're gonna see these little notches here and that arrow, and you know you have it in the correct position. like that. And then you're gonna close the lever like that. You're gonna push down and you're gonna see the plastic piece pop off. And then you put this lever down to lock it. And just like that, the processor is installed. As you see, the processor is now properly installed. And now we're ready to get to our next session. As you can see, it's not really too much to install a processor. It's really simple. It's not really as hard or difficult as it seems. So I hope you found this content very useful. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you know anybody else that is wanting to build a PC that is brand new to it, make sure you share this video or this playlist. And also make sure you go down to hit the subscribe button if you want to join the big wonderful fan bam. And don't forget to hit the notification bell for all the newest updates. Make sure to follow my Twitter handle right here, as it is the same as my TikTok and IG as well. Make sure you check out the next part because we're going to install the NVMe next.